Blades fans, subscribe to Blades Ramble. Up the Blades.
What is happening, Blades? And welcome back to the Blades Ramble. I am, of course, Jimmy, and we are proudly sponsored, as always, by our main channel sponsor, Action Coach Sheffield. If you're a growing business and want support to continue that growth, they are the people to speak to. We're also sponsored by V&B Auto Centres. If your vehicle's due an MOT and you're in and around the Handsworth area, give them a buzz. Let them know you came from the Ramble, and they'll knock you 50% off. Unbelievable deals from Aaron and the team. Thank you for your continued support. And as this is the warm-up, we're also sponsored by Triple Point Brewery. So you know, I'm going to say you know where you'll find us before the game, but I'll be doing a watch-along, so you won't find me in Triple Point. But thank you for them to their continued support. Very much appreciated. Right, so this is the warm-up. This is where we look forward to our next fixture, which is West Brom away. Never an easy. I don't care what run of form they're on, which is a little bit sticky. I think they've got 9 draws in the last 10. We're going to hear from West Brom, Connor from West Brom TV, Fan TV. So he'll talk us through what we need to know about West Brom a little bit. But for me, it's the old form is temporary, class is permanent. And look, they're not getting beat either. So it's a tough place to go. Always has been and generally always will be. Carlos Corberán I really rate as a manager. Although, obviously, they've dipped slightly in form and started slipping down a little bit. I think they're out of the playoffs now. But, yeah, it's going to be tough. And it's going to be made even tougher because we're without our first-choice centre-back pairing. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about that? I'm all right with it. I'm okay with it. I've come to terms with the fact that it's Anel's last game before he returns. Harry Souttar only has a 1-game suspension, as it were 2 yellow cards, 2 daft yellow cards. So it's going to be Jack Robinson and Alfie Gilchrist in the centre. I'm positive of it. And we'll go through that in Born to be Wilder as well, where I tell you what team I think will play. And I think Femi Sariki has earned his place in the starting 11. Now, normally, I wouldn't want to go with Femi Sariki in this game because I'd want to go with a more defensive Gilchrist because West Brom are a tough team. And I think we'll need that protection against Carlon Grant down the left-hand side. But beggars can't be choosers, can they? This is why it's a squad game. And although Femi might not have been our first choice for this game, just because of his strengths and weaknesses, then we are where we are. And look, he's been fantastic whenever he's come on. I think the fact that both teams went down to 10 men and there were much more space on the field gave him so much license to get up and down, particularly up. And he's been a revelation, hasn't he? And I think he will end up being our long-term right back. He's looking more and more like he's staking that claim. You know, if he continues the improvement at the rate that he has done, then there's no stopping him becoming a real powerhouse of a right back for us. But will that be next season? And there's a reason I'm asking this question, because obviously Alfie Gilchrist is our regular right back, if you like. Sariki's giving him a heck of a run. But there's reports come out this week, and Alex Crooks released it in his latest TalkSport column, and I haven't got it to pull up on screen for you here, but I've just had it, and I knew it was going to disappear on me, because of course it is. But basically, what he's saying is Kyle Walker is going to be freed in the summer, or Man City will look at letting Kyle Walker leave in the summer. And the speculation is Sheffield United want him to return to Bramall Lane. There also is interest from the MLS. There's also interest from Saudi. So lots of things to factor in. This has been sort of a long-held dream of most Unitedites that we would one day again see Kyle pull on the red and white stripes. He's obviously a huge blade himself. Throughout his career has always talked up United. He's been at games when he's not been winning Premier League titles. So what a player to come back to United. And look, there's a lot of ifs and buts. The first thing is we need to be a Premier League club to even have a chance of signing Kyle Walker. And that is by no means a given. We sit currently top of the league. Everything is going according to plan. We're going into a very difficult month in December. Leeds have got quite a favourable fixture list this month, which I think they've been, a couple of them have been quoted as saying it's easy. I think you're a little bit naive to say any fixture's easy at this level, but I know what they're saying. I know what they're saying. So we've got to get to the Premier League first to be even be in that conversation about Kyle Walker. We've also got to hope that he lets his heart rule his head, because there's no doubt if it was a straight choice and finance didn't come into it, he'd return to Sheffield United in the Premier League for maybe one, if we can survive 2 seasons maybe. And yes, he's dropped off a little bit in terms of his levels, but Man City are the elite team in world football. We're a few levels below that, I think it's fair to say. So I've had people respond to, I retweeted it and said, I can see the stars aligning, but we've got to do our bit first and get promoted. But obviously some are saying, rightly, why on earth would he reject the huge money that's on offer from Saudi or the lifestyle in the MLS to come and play for Sheffield United? Valid arguments. Other people are saying, no, he's not good enough now. I'd rather see Sariki get game time and stuff. And look, again, as we always say, everybody's entitled to their opinion. It's just a case that were quite surprising to me. We've got a chance of Kyle Walker. Do we sign? I don't know. I went off them, so I hope I didn't go for you. But can you see a world where we don't sign Kyle Walker because we choose not to sign Kyle Walker? I think it's balmy. I think it's absolutely balmy to think. So, anyway, let me know your thoughts on that. And before I get into your comments, we're going to find out what we've got to look forward to against West Brom. So here is Connor, and thank you for the rundown, pal.
All right, guys, thank you for having me on the channel. Connor from West Brom Fan TV here. So, to be honest with you, Albion have had a little bit of a drop-off in form recently. We've drawn far too many games. 9 of our last 10 games have been a draw. And if you want to keep up there with the likes of Sheffield United, then you do actually need to start winning games. Like I say, far too many draws. The fans are starting to turn on Carlos Corberán at the moment. I mean, me personally, I still think he's the man for the job. When he took over from Steve Bruce, we were near the bottom. He got us into the playoffs. I understand that it's a results-based business, football, and you need to get the wins. And, you know, West Brom should be aiming to be, you know, promoted or in the playoffs. But I still think Carlos Corberán is the man for the job. I don't think it's the right answer sacking him. I believe that Carlos Corberán will stick with the exact same team he played against Preston. We played that 3-4-1-2 formation against them. And Carlos Corberán, he's not a manager who will make wholesale changes. He just makes a few tweaks here and there. So I don't expect the side to be massively changed from that game against Preston. I'd definitely say Josh Maja, second top goal scorer this season. He's been absolutely electric in front of goal. He's been brilliant. If it wasn't for him, I don't think we'd be in the position what we're in now. And the likes of Karlan Grant as well. He's come on massively since his loan at Cardiff. He's been a totally different player. He looks hungry, and I do believe he'll cause Sheffield United a few problems. We've got the likes of Torsborn Hegem as well at the back. Absolute monster at the back. Keep saying it. Alex Palmer as well can keep a clean sheet. We've got some really, really good players. We just need to start winning.
He does.
I wouldn't really say it's a weak link. I'd just say that this season we've been very guilty of creating a lot of chances and not putting the ball in the back of the net. And, you know, we can't afford to do that against top of the table Sheffield United.
Ooh, do it again.
Top of the table Sheffield United. if we do miss chances, they'll easily get us on the break, or go at the other end and score pretty much straight away. So we've got to be on top of our game as well. I think Alex Palmer's had a little bit of criticism this season, although he's got the most clean sheets. Sometimes he is prone to a mistake as well. I think the sides will match up really, really well. I think it'll be a very physical and demanding game for the players. Sheffield United work really, really hard off the ball and on the ball. Same as West Brom, really. I just think it's going to be very physical. Hopefully not like the Battle of Bramhall Lane, but I believe it'll be a very end-to-end game with both teams creating a fair few chances, and it's whoever takes those chances will win this game, I believe. It's going to be a really, really tough game for both sides. Albion are in the playoffs, Sheffield United in top position. Ooh. The only thing for what concerns me for us is we just haven't been as good at home as we have away this season. Last season it was the polar opposite, but this season we just haven't really been as good at home. Just that they're quite a pacey team. They've got a really good midfield. I really like Gustavo Hamer and Callum O'Hare. I think they can cause Albion a lot of problems. Score predictions for the game, I'm going to say 2-1 Sheffield United. I just think that it's going to be a really, really tricky game for West Brom. I think that you're just going to dominate that midfield personally, and I think that's what's going to win you lot the game. If you enjoyed my predictions and my thoughts on the game, then you can follow us over on YouTube, mainly West Brom Fan TV, where we make vlogs. Anyone can watch them. Got a lot of mutual content just regarding the championship and stuff like that. I think Sheffield United have no reason why they can't be in the top two.
I think I love you.
And I do think West Brom will miss out on the playoffs.
I make myself laugh with them, so apologies if nobody else finds them funny. But I think they're informative. I'm really sort of, it's better than me sort of just analysing them myself and just throwing all that information at you. They know best, don't they? The fans of the other teams. So it's nice for them to come on and just give us a quick rundown as to what we can expect we're coming up against on Sunday. But I was surprised to see him predict a loss. You don't get many of them where, they might not be very confident and pick a draw, but yeah, to pick a loss, well, it just shows where the confidence is in that side, doesn't it? So I'm going to start with a couple of comments now. Thank you to everybody that's joined us. Hi, Jimmy. Hope you're well. Looking at West Brom. They draw a lot of games, so even though we're away, I'd be looking for a win on this one. David says, evening, Jimmy and all Blades. Still top of the league. Up the Ramble, up the Blades. Like and subscribe. Evening, Scott. Yes, I'm good, mate. Thank you. Hope you are too. I guess Alfie goes into centre-back with Robbo, Burrows and Sariki for me. Yeah. Rest of them the same. How far are Moore and Brewster off? Draw specialist West Brom. Let's do it. Up the Blades, up the Ramble. Like and subscribe. Moore and Brewster, I believe, will be in contention. I think, obviously, Wilder's press conference will likely reveal that a little bit further. Whether that's the case or not, or whether he wants to keep his cards close to his chest on it, I don't know, because we know what he can be like sometimes, which is for the betterment of the club. But I'd like to start doing stuff like that. And if we can dedicate more time to the Ramble, which I'm really looking to do and getting quite excited at the prospect of doing, 2025 is the year of the Ramble. We're definitely going to say that. But I'd like to get cover some of the press conferences and stuff like that in terms of immediate reaction, particularly if we're going early with warm-up so they don't clash. Daz says, no NL or Suter. Not worried. It's the passing out from the keeper that worries me. A few people have said this, and I understand it. And there's a few nervy sort of, when he passes out, I can hear it around me. The one thing I will say is, I love Mike Cooper, and I know you're not saying you don't, but I'm very confident in his ability. And sometimes he's cut it a bit fine in terms of how long he leaves it before he releases the ball, or he can be pressed quite quickly, and then he does kick it out of play sometimes. But I'm much more confident with him than I have been with any other keeper. I think he's very good with his feet. And it's a purposeful decision, isn't it, from the club? So my brother were there with me at the game the other night, and he was saying he's not overly into the game. He's not overly into football, but he enjoys coming and watching Blades and supports us. But he's like, I don't understand why they keep doing these short goal kicks, because you're inviting pressure on. And it's the choice that we've made, because the alternative is to go long, and it's a 50-50 at best, isn't it? And it's probably less than that when you've got Callum O'Hare in the 10, Gus Aimer that you can aim for on the left. Tyrese Campbell, he can do a little bit of everything, but you wouldn't expect him to win every header in the air. So you're essentially maybe offering up possession by going long. So by going short, you're guaranteeing that it remains with your side. The only, obviously, downside to it is you're inviting pressure much closer to your goal. So it's the way we've chosen to play, Daz. And they might mix it up. And I think they have started mixing it up a little bit, just so it's not so predictable. But I understand the concerns, mate. Evening, Jimmy says, Jack, I think we will stick with the same back line we finished with against Sunderland. That were Reece Norrington Davis thought left back, weren't it? Do you mean Burrows as well? I'm wanting a good performance away from home to try and get some consistency, but I can see it being hard. Evening, Jimmy says, Liam, hope we're sticking with the same back four that played the second half last Friday, hoping for another win, but would take a draw with Suter and Anel being out. Evening, Jimmy, will Reece Norrington Davis be available for selection after he got sent off for the under-21s? Up the Blades, up the Ramble, like and subscribe. Loving all these big pushes that you're helping us give. So thank you to everybody that does like and subscribe. It's much appreciated. It just gets us closer and closer to where we want to be, and hopefully we can start pumping out a lot more content for you, which is exciting to start the ball rolling with. I've been sort of teasing that there's going to be some news now that we've hit 5K. Just waiting on a few things falling into place, and hopefully we can start talking about some exciting stuff around the corner. Will R&D be suspended? No, he won't be suspended for the game. The under-21 sending off doesn't bleed into the first team, for want of a better way of saying it. It were 2 yellows, weren't it? Stevie Holmes, hope you're well, pal. One of our Platinum Ramblers. We have to simply put out the strongest team available. That means Gilchrist at centre-back, Sariki at right-back, and then the team that basically starts. How close is Mort? Very close, from what I understand. The initial estimates had him as fit for the Sunderland game. So he must be ready. Unless he's had a setback, Steve, that we're not that we're not aware of, pal. West Brom being draw specialists, they will need some unlocking. Yeah, I agree with that. In fact, since everybody's picking the team, I haven't done a long sort of drawn out one this time, because previously I've put something together before, and I hadn't had time to do it. Oh, I had time to do it today. So you don't have to see my big mug, dear. And to be honest, I'm going to go with what Dave Leary says. I'm going to go back to old camera, I think. But at a minute, there's stuff in where I'm also. Born to be wild.
Tell.
So, Born to be Wilder, we are picking our side or I'm certainly showing you the side I would pick for the game against West Brom. And it's as simple as this. Steve's touched on it. A few others have mentioned it. Cooper in goal. Femi Sariki comes in at right back as Alfie Gilchrist drifts into right centre half. Jack Robinson at left centre back and Harrison Burrows at left back. Obviously this is a makeshift back four, really. We've got our starting right back moving to right centre back. I think most people understand or recognise that Alfie Gilchrist wants to be a centre-back. He's doing a job at right-back for us, but he thinks he's a centre-back. So this will be a real test for him to say, look, I can do a job here. And not only that, we talk about things like, I'll just bring it off a second because I'll come back to it, but we talk about things like January, what positions we need. Obviously, a lot of people go to centre midfield, but then Tom Davies comes on with a great cameo against Sunderland and makes you think, well, we've now got Vinny and Peck and Davis and Shackleton that can play there. So that's 4. People think we need a striker, but we play with one up top, and we've got Kiefer Moore, who was bought to be our starting striker with significant investment. Tyrese Campbell's come in and got 5 goals in 7 games, so absolutely puts his name in as the starting striker. And Ryan Brewster backing them up as well, who's on a good wage, and that shouldn't matter, but it's in the conversation. We've also got Ryan O'Neill still at the club, so I don't think we'll necessarily go for a striker. I think we might consider an orthodox left winger like we've talked about. But we also spoke about, well, we've no real right centre-half, have we? And you might think this proves it by Alfie Gilchrist slotting in. But if Alfie Gilchrist sees himself as somebody who can play not only somebody who can play centre-half, but somebody who is centre-half, playing at right-back, then does that negate the need to go out and get a centre-back? Because Femi Siriki is doing enough to state his case for being our right-back. So it goes back to the same conversation we've had before about we might not have the deepest of squads, but we've got a very flexible squad with players that can do a job in more than one position. You can see Harrison Burrows moving forward, can't you? You know, he can do that. Callum O'Hare and Gus Hamer can interchange on that left-hand side and cutting inside to the middle. Tyrese Campbell's played out wide before, although he's been sensational through the middle. Raksaki's cut inside a little bit more, which I've liked. It allows Siriki to bomb on. I think that's a very attacking right-hand side, which does worry me a little bit in terms of defence. So just to finish the team off, you've heard me back 5. It's Sousa and Vinny Peck. Sousa and Vinny Peck. Vinny Sousa and Sidney Peck in the middle. Such bite in there, which we love. I've kept O'Hare in the 10 and Hamer out wide left. But obviously that's interchangeable for me. I tend to prefer Gus Hamer in the 10, but I think Callum O'Hare did okay against Sunderland, to be fair. Raksaki becoming more and more influential on that right-hand side. And Tyrese Campbell, even if Kiefer Moore is fit and ready to go, Tyrese Campbell starts for me just because of the impact that he's had over the last few games. So, obviously, I'll jump back into your comments now to see whether you agree with that. But that is the team I would be playing. David says we can keep our run going. Alfie's a solid centre-back and Siriki and Raksaki can make the right side their own with Raksaki cutting inside and Gus coming in from the left. Believe, Blades, believe. I love that, David. Thank you, pal. One of our Platinum Ramblers. Evening, Jimmy. Do you have any news on the Brewster extension? No, I don't, actually. In fact, I need to ask about that because that was something that we were going to talk to him about a couple of months ago, weren't it? Or we'd begun discussions and people are going to wait to think about things. And yeah, so I'll try and get you an update, Beast Boy. Andy Wright, good evening, pal. Hope you're well. Dave the Nose Leary. Evening, bud. Every reason to be confident for the weekend. 2-0 Blades, I reckon. Smash the like button, guys. Up the Blades, up the Ramble. Thank you, pal. Hope you're doing well. Dave the Leary has been a bit under the weather recently, so if you want to give him your well wishes, then by all means, feel free to do so. I'm so happy for what position we're in, says Jack. 38 points already, should be 40, but I'm getting a little worried with our inconsistency with performances against higher teams and especially away. Well, Sunderland were not a higher team, but we're a very high team. And I thought we played okay. We got the win, didn't we? We can't be great every week. We're still a brand new team. Look, we're 16 to 18 games together now. So maybe that wears a little bit thin. But it can't be lost on anybody how incredibly well we've done this season. And it's a testament to how good these players are that they've clicked or grinded the results out. And some would say, Jack, it's sometimes better to get results when you're not playing at your maximum capacity, because that is the sign of a very good side in terms of, imagine what we're going to do when it does click, like it did click against Oxford. If we'd have kept going at full pelt against Oxford, it could have been 5 or 6. Although I understood why we didn't. Evening, Jimmy. Confident of another clean sheet, even with the changes. 2-0 Blades, up the Ramble, like and subscribe. Do you know what? I think I'm in that sort of 2-0 mindset. West Brom is a really tricky place to go, so we're going to come in and sort of squeak a 1-0. But I've done that a couple of times, and I need to have more confidence in these lads because they're good enough. And yeah, it's not our makeshift back line. It's not our regular back line, but we've got reinforcements in attack this time. Can you imagine bringing Kiefer Moore on at 70 minutes? What a brilliant boost, and defenders are going to be going, oh, no, not him. And then we roll into Millwall with Harry Suter and Anel back again, don't we? So exciting. Definitely need a winger who loves to carry the ball, says Jack. Hi, Jimmy, says Rob. Keep up the good work. And the same goes for the Blades. We're solid at the back and starting to create. Thank you, Rob. First ever Rambler, Rob Kerr. What a top man. Currently broken down on the way home from work watching this. Lee, sorry, pal. That's commitment. Oh, I hope you get sorted out, mate. That's rubbish. 1-0 to Blades on Sunday, says Jace. Got to attack, says Andy. Ricky says, I think we should be okay, mate, with the back four. It's not the strongest, but it's strong enough. I agree. It's more than enough. Can't wait to get there this Sunday, says David Vinter. Big test, but I think we'll do well. Femi has not let us down. He's class, and looking forward to seeing Aldis at right centre half. Alfie, I think that'll be Alfie at right centre half. Up the Blades, up the Ramble. Thank you, pal. I love Sariki, but he won't be a starter if Walker comes back. I completely agree, Nige. And it's only what a mentor for him as well. And look, you'd rotate Kyle out, wouldn't you? Because you'd think he wouldn't be playing a full 38-game season. And this is with the caveat that we're in the Premier League as well. We're not like Leeds. We don't just assume that we're going to be in the Premier League. You've got to work for it. He's going to Saudi for the money, says Luke. I don't think he will. Evening, Jimmy, says Mr. V. I'll be looking for 3 points against West Brom and we'll be okay with a draw against Millwall, as they're going to be extremely tough to break down. We go looking for 6 points, but okay with 4. Interesting, Mr. V, because, as you know, we had this conversation on Hot Topic on Monday, and I put to the panel of Ramblers, would you take 4 points out of these next 2 games, away at West Brom and away at Millwall? And 5 of the 6 of us said, yeah, 4 points. You can't go wrong with 4 points in these 2 games. Man Mountain, nope. I want 6. And he's saying 4 wouldn't be a disaster, but I want 6. So obviously we all want 6. But what he was saying is he's convinced that we can, and that we probably will. So I'd love to have that confidence. Come on, Kyle, says Davy boy. We don't beat Saudi, says Jack. We don't for the cash, mate. But there's other things at play, isn't there? You never know. He's got plenty of money, hasn't he? Let's be right. Vertically challenged without a Nell and Suter, says Jimmy. It needs to be super switched on when it comes to set pieces and throw-ins. Happy with Alfie Gilchrist covering the centre-back role. Still confident of nicking it 1-0. Strike. Gilchrist, Robinson, Burrows. Let's be right. We've had worse back four. Sariki, I think that'll be. We've had worse back fours, and it's a one-off. Let's get behind them. Come on, Blades. Absolutely, we're behind them, pal. And I don't think it's a bad back four. I just think it's a tough place to go, West Brom. I'd take Walker defo, says Ricky. It's a wage issue with Walker, says Andy. Jimmy Ramble, can I please have a shout-out, says Conblock. Well, there you go, mate. There, you've written it 4 times, so you've got a shout. Yeah, shout out to Conblock. I hope you're all right, pal. Jack says, could we get someone better with the money for Walker? I don't think you're going to get much better than Carl. You'll never beat Carl Walker. Sariki. Ian, do your stuff. Oh, dearie me. Where's Ian when you need him? David says, don't want Kyle Walker back. He'll hold the young talent back, says David Vinter, who just passes sideways and backwards nowadays and rarely gets forward. I think it's a backward step up the Blades. And that's a valid point and a valid opinion because he's clearly past his peak. His pace is a huge part of his game. And you think, however old he is, how old is he now? 35, 36? He can't be Usain Bolt forever, can he? So if that goes out of his game, I'd like to think he's got more than enough nous to be able to cover where he needs to be. But David raises a good point. Does it block Sariki unnecessarily? I still take Kyle Walker, but it's a valid point. Sariki looks like a Prem player. Currently, Lee's all telling us again that he's broken down on the side of road. I think Walker's lost a yard. Also of pace, says Ian. Not sure if we should spend the type of wages on him. Interesting. Jimmy, I think you need to get in touch with the provider. Lol, get some Wi-Fi extent. Oh, sorry, we're struggling, mate. Yeah. Tell me about it. I've been on to them. Evening, Jim. Nice camera angle tonight. Be interesting to see how the backups go on Sunday. Going 2-0 Den Blades. Kyle Walker is still one of the top fullbacks in world football. Completely agree. Harry, hi, Jimmy. One of our latest Ramblers. Thank you for your support, pal. Walker will be a class signing, even in the Prem. Will be really good for players like Sariki, Burrows, etc. A real leader and somewhat natural Gilchrist replacement. Who would you prefer to sign permanently? This is a question, and I think we might have asked this the other night as well. Who would you prefer to sign permanently? Alfie Gilchrist or Kyle Walker? And I'm not going to tell you my answer to that. No, thanks. Don't really want Walker back, to be honest, says Jace. Nige says, Jimmy, quick one about Sky. I complained about the wife, so they upgraded me to the super fibre. I know what you're saying there, Nige. You're saying you complained about the Wi-Fi, but you've actually typed wife, so they upgraded your wife. I tell you what, if they do that for me, then all is forgiven. Joke, obviously. They can't upgrade my wife. They can't. It's impossible. Oh, dearie me. This is why I love it. This is why I love talking to you a lot. So, Nige says, Jimmy, quick one about Sky. I complained about the Wi-Fi, so they upgraded me to the super fibre with the white router, which is what we've got. And it's spot on now, pal. Yeah, I'd love to be in that position. They are going to feel my wrath if it don't get right. It's not right, is it? We're trying to, technically, we're running a business here, aren't we? I know it's a laugh and things, but I want to be able to provide quality content to people. It's a shame when something that I can't control is the thing that's letting us down. Mr. V says, Walker said publicly he wants to play for the Blades again. It's just whether it's the right time in his career. In his mind, he would have to take a massive pay decrease. But if it's in his heart, then yeah, I think it will be, pal. Kyle and Chris Wilder have to be on the same page. If they are, then I would be happy, says Phil. How many games he plays, what positions, all a bit less clear than Jag's return a few years back. Why would you not want Walker, says Dino? His experience would be invaluable. Make him club captain for me. This guy wants to be a Blade, says Blades. Danny Boy says, just worried with Suter and Anel out. That's the weak spot, in my opinion. They could take advantage of it. Love the little edits you do. Thanks, pal. I just do it to keep me myself entertained, to be honest. Obviously, it's to up the content level. But Nige says, good, honest view from him. Doesn't look very confident, does he? No, he doesn't. He doesn't. Dunk Connor from West Brom Fan TV, which surprises me because I'd be okay with Corberan. Season with Walker to mentor Sariki would be beneficial. Can see us getting a 1-0 against West Brom. Come on, Blade, says Key. Keep it up for a deal. It wasn't the passing out for me. It was the passing to the player right next to him, then giving it back, especially when two players are stood on our box. Yeah, absolutely. Baggies fan on Red Half predicted a Blades win. You know what that means. Oh, don't say that, Dublin. Don't say that, mate. Sarah, hi, Jimmy. I'm new to Blades Ramble, but want to say a huge thank you to you. Your channel is fantastic. The content is top class. Keep up the good work. Up the Blades, up the Ramble. Sarah, welcome. Welcome. And thank you for such kind words. And why aren't the rest of you as nice as Sarah? Telling me to upgrade my wife, Nige. Sarah, that's lovely. Thank you for such a kind comment. We're over time, but I love that. And I'm glad you enjoy it. I'm sorry if the reception's not been great tonight. It really frustrates me, but that's something we're working on. But welcome to the community. You're more than welcome. Mark says, hi, Jimmy. Gutted not going Sunday due to my grassroots commitments, but I'll be there, heart and soul. Up the Blades, up the Ramble. Like and subscribe. Well, if you can't make it, and if you get home early from grassroots, you can join us for the watch along, pal. My team for West Brom: Coops, Sariki, Gilchrist, Robbo, Burrows, Sousa, Peck, or Davis, Raksaki, Hamer, O'Hare, and Campbell. So same as mine. That's Scott. Yeah, fair. Robbo, long throw, knocked on Tom Davis, second in 2 games, 1-0 full time. We'll take it, Key. Take it, pal. John, good evening, Jimmy. We'll win if Brave on the ball and set our stall out to win with a 4-3-2-1 formation. Sariki to start, Gilchrist right centre back. The rest pick themselves. Up the Blades, up the Ramble, like and subscribe. So you wouldn't go. Interesting. 4-2-3-1. Do you mean the 4-2-3-1? Louis Barry on loan says great bounce at Stockport. Looks really good left winger. Apparently getting recalled to get a loan in the champ. I've heard the same, pal. Would fit in very nicely if Broughton Diaz comes to nothing. Top scorer in League One right now from a left wing position. A goal every 99 minutes. He does look a real prospect now, doesn't he, Louis Barry? After going cold for a couple of years, he's now out on loan at Stockport and doing fantastically well. Hoping Campbell performances make more up his goals. Shackleton, also an option at right back if Wilder wants a more cautious approach. That's true, Luke. Yeah, that is true. We could do that. I wouldn't be surprised if he did that, to be honest. Louis Barry's my pick for signing, says RJH. Shackles will be better suited to centre midfield rather than right back simply because of his strength. Evening, Jimmy. 2-1 Blades, hopefully, says Bry. Yeah, let's hope so, pal. Sorry to hear Dave's been under the weather, says Ian. As he tried to inhale it, or his nose must be too sensitive. Yeah, just for further clarity, Dave the nose, it's nothing to do with his actual nose. It's because he's keen with sniffing out scents. Dave the nose, he really knows. Just read Ethan Ampadu has terminated his contract with Leeds. Would you take him back? No, he hasn't. I'm not having that. No chance. Millwall will be without Cooper, so who's going to score against us? Yeah, well, don't tempt fate, Scott, because somebody might. I'll be on the 8:56 train, says Walt, from Sheffield to Birmingham Sunday, then tram to West Brom. Good lad. Good lad. Sing loud and proud. And on the supporters coach to Millwall. Top man. Well done, pal. My mate's a Leeds fan. He's just read it out to me. I'm not having it, Lee. I'm not having it, mate. I'm not saying you're having us on. I think he might be having you on. Gilchrist. Bry says Walker signing would offer invaluable experience to our youngsters and can play centre back as well. It's a no-brainer. He doesn't have to play every game. Up the Blades, up the Ramble. Like and subscribe. John says sign Gilchrist rather than Kyle. He will develop into a brilliant Premier League player. Don't think he'll become a full international ever. Up the Blades, up the Ramble. If it's a choice between the two in who you sign permanently, Gilchrist or Walker, although Walker is tremendous. And I would love it for the romance of the signing. I'm signing Alfie Gilchrist. Got your boxing gloves ready for the stream with Con, says Liam. Looking forward to it, by the way. Fuck it out. Nice one, Liam. Hope you're good, pal. Yeah, and what Liam's referring to is this tomorrow night. I will be on the One Leeds fan channel as we start what will hopefully be a new series, a weekly series of me going head-to-head with Connor on the promotion race, because I am sick to the back teeth of Leeds thinking they are the bee's knees and showing no respect to anybody else in league. Remind me where they are. Are they even in the automatic promotion places? No, they're not. It's an absolute joke, the entitlement that this fan base has. And I'm going on there. I'm going into enemy territory tomorrow. And you know I get on great with Connor. But I'm sure I'll take some sticking comments. But how can you look past Sheffield United? And we're not an overconfident fan base. We know that we could drop a clanger here and there, and it might not happen for us this season. But don't disrespect us by just assuming you're going to walk over us, because you beat us once. You beat us in the worst game we've played all season. We changed everything about our identity for that game. It was a tactical... he took a chance tactically, and it failed. Now, I know we're over time, so join us on One Leeds fan channel tomorrow at 8:00 if you're about for that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Something I have forgotten about the last time I did the warm up, so I'm not going to forget this time. Even though we're over time, this is Disco Dave.
Bright lights, flashing lights, dancing feet in neon tights. Mirror ball, don't behave. Everybody shout out, Disco Dave. Disco Dave.
When he rocked up at Lane, oh what style he showed. Nicked from Goodison, Calvert-Lewin's clothes. Tom Davis, he was an Everton lad. Tom Davis is a Blade now and we're glad. Ooh, Tom Davis, yeah, yeah, yeah. Tom Davis, yeah, yeah, yeah. Man of fashion, hero in the stands. When he came on a sub for Sunderland at the Lane, hair like Groucho Marx, but boy can this lad play. Tom Davis, he was an Everton lad. Tom Davis, he's a Blade now and we're glad. Ooh, Tom Davis, yeah, yeah, yeah. Tom Davis, yeah, yeah, yeah. Man of fashion, hero in the stand.
Disco Dave.
So there we go. That was Disco Dave. I've got to the end of the comments just about. Trust me, mate, a lot of Leeds fans are unhappy with Farker in All Rosie at LS11. Well, we'll soon find out. We'll see how that conversation goes tomorrow. So, thank you to everybody for joining me tonight. I've really enjoyed it. I'm confident going into the game. I'm going to upgrade my prediction from a 1-0 to a 2-0. I'm on with Connor on 1 Leeds tomorrow at 8 o'clock. And then join us for the watch along on Sunday. But for now, come on, you red and white wizards. Oh,